I've got a headband! Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the Geordie Geek and this is Run Geek Run, and in this episode I'm purely going to be talking about the events of Tough Mudder 2014. As you can tell by the headband and the lovely t-shirt, I did finish Tough Mudder and it was absolutely amazing. I loved every single second of it. If you've been watching Run Geek Run, you know that I haven't done anything like this before really, so it was a first for us. And Tough Mudder, the course itself, it's challenging enough that it's between 11 and 12 mile, which is pretty much on the cusp of half marathon territory, but obviously you've got all the obstacles as well. I'm not going to run through every single obstacle that we went through, but I did have my GoPro strapped to my head as well, so I did record the majority of them. There are a few missing, but I will put the raw footage from those into one video and I'll throw that up on YouTube as well. It was all pretty cool. Before you start the race, you've got to go into the warm-up area and warm up with a load of other runners around you. It's led by, funnily enough, the guy that was doing all the mic work at the end of the colour run. He was there doing the warm-up for that and the after party as well, but that's a different thing. So we were doing warm-ups, and then you've got to walk up the hill towards the start line, but before you get to that you've got to actually climb over a wall anyway, so you've got an obstacle before you start the race. But let's be honest, if you can't get over that obstacle, then you're pretty screwed for the rest of the race anyway. Once you're in the starting pen, you go through the Tough Mudder oath. So you basically just repeat what the guy says. He lays out the law, basically saying that it's not a race, it's a team thing, and if anyone is in any need of any help, you help them with the obstacles and stuff. So it's all about togetherness more than just getting through as fast as you can. First obstacle you get to is the hero blades, which are basically wooden walls on a 45-degree angle facing towards you. And they're probably I'm about 6 foot, so I'm going off my height-ish. They are probably about 6 foot to get over, but obviously because of the angle it's hard to get a footing, so you go over 2 of those. The next one after that, I believe, was the Arctic Enema, which is you jump into a skip full of ice-cold water, and you've got to fully submerge under a rack of tyres. That's on the video as well if you want to look at that. We had to crawl on my belly underneath some barbed wire. I believe after that we went through a forest and it caused a few problems because people lost their trainers in the mud, which wasn't actually an obstacle. The next one was balls to the wall, which is a really high wall that you've got to climb up with the aid of a rope and get back down. So that was really cool. The rope was very slippy, but it did have some knots in, so there was quite a few people struggling with getting up, but as long as you had the right technique, you were up and down in no time. We took on Hang Tough, which is like the hanging bars, the little circular bars like on Gladiator. I think I only seen 2 people get to the end, mainly just because it had been lashing down just before we got to that one, so all the rings were soaking wet, so it doesn't matter how much upper body strength you had, you would just slip right off there. After that, I believe it was the Mud Mile, which it's not a mile long, but basically that's the part of the course where you're going to get the muddiest. It's just a series of little hills that you've got to climb up and down. Some of them are about 5 foot tall, but basically in between each one of these is just a massive puddle of mud. Not the band, and she doesn't hate us. You didn't think it was going to be that bad, but the way the mud was, it was pretty horrible, and the hills themselves, you expected them to be quite soft and just made of mud, but they were very stony, and they led to a lot of scraped arses. And then that was leading up to Walk the Plank, which was really fun. Basically all it is, you just climb up to a platform. It's a pretty high platform, probably about 15 foot maybe, couldn't tell you, might be a bit higher, and basically just jump right off the end of that into a big puddle of water, which was awesome. It's not a puddle, it was a big pool of water. Be a bit risky just doing a puddle, but again, there's video footage of that too. That was leading up to Everest. This also is full footage on the video that I put up, and Everest is probably the trademark of the Tough Mudder really. It's effectively what it is. It's a quarter pipe that's really high, probably again another 10-12 foot high, so it's just one big curved wall, and what happens is you just take a run at it, try and get up. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So what tends to happen is you see a lot of people waiting at the top to try and grab people's hands to help them up, but what most people do for some reason, they go for it, but instead of aiming to get right up to the top, they aim for people's hands that are out to try and get them, which resulted in quite a lot of face plants of people that have went before and stuff. So I was looking forward to doing this one all day, so it got to my turn and I just went for it, just ran, and then I ended up just getting straight up, to which some of the guys that were waiting at the top to grab us in case I fell back down, they were a bit surprised, and there was a few expletives said, which was pretty cool. Now earlier in the run there is another electroshock part where I did it, and you crawl along, much like under the barbed wire, you crawl along in like a pool of water on your belly, and there's just wires above you. So I'd got 2 or 3 shocks off that, one of which was on the back of my shoulder, and if you watch the footage you'll hear when it happens, because I swear. So I knew what the electroshocks were going to be like, and the last obstacle is basically a miniature version of Mud Mile with a couple of little humps and just wires hanging down. So you know fine well that you're going to get shocked, but it is right in front of the finish line, so you can't really avoid it. If you wanted to wuss out, you just look stupid, because as you get out of the wires the finish line is there, so you've just got to pelt it. You know you're going to get shocked, so I just pelted it. I think I got shocked twice, but again on the video one of them was literally the last row of wires, and it got us right there and it nearly sent us flying backwards. But we did it, got across the finish line, got greeted with my headband and a pint of ginger grouse, I believe it was. A bit too sweet, but I sharp got on the beers after that. So Tough Mudder was absolutely awesome. The after party was really good fun as well, and I wanted to do it on the Sunday again. But it was an awesome experience, and I will definitely be doing it next year, at least once. I need to get some different colour headbands going. So I will be forming a team, hopefully with a few mates from hockey as well. There's been some people said they want to do it, but there'll be more information about my team goes up when I get it sorted, if you want to join. Obviously it's a month until the Great North Run, so I'm really looking forward to that stuff. I've just got my t-shirt through from Cystic Fibrosis Trust that I'll be using to run in on the day, so that's really exciting. I'm going to be pushing my sponsorship stuff a bit more now. Again, if you want to do that and donate, you go to www.justgiving.com/GeordieGeek, or you can text GEEK80 plus your donation to 770. Again, all the information is there, information down in the comments below as well. And there is also news of one more run that I've added to my schedule for this year. It's going to be this coming Saturday, which I believe is the 16th, and it's going to be the Gateshead Trail 10k, which is going to be really fun. So the next episode of Run Geek Run will probably be talking about that and the final run up into the Great North Run training, so I'm looking forward to doing that. It's been a bit of a boring one, this one, really, talking about Tough Mudder, but it was really good fun, and Tough Mudder, do it. It was really fun. I am now a Tough Mudder. I'm part of the Mudder Legion, so I'll see you in a fortnight for more Run Geek Run.